right now. Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Thanks very much. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to a Labor Day edition. And we're laboring for you. All you have to do is call us at 412-575-2600. That's the number of the Bordas and Bordas hotline of this, the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. We're talking just about everything in Pittsburgh sports. Today we'll begin with Le'Veon Bell, who was a no-show today. Gene Collier, outstanding columnist of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, is here. And Gene, I, for one, thought he'd be here today. This is the exact same playbook he used last year. But for whatever reason, he decided not to show. He has not tweeted. I've followed. You know what's weird? Here I am, at my age, following a young person on Snapchat, everything that goes on, just to make sure there's nothing out there that I'm missing. That's what it's come to in today's society. So he's not there. Were you surprised he's not there?
Yeah, I was surprised that he's not there. I was surprised that Landry Jones was cut. All credit to you. We were walking out of the place on Thursday night. You thought that Josh Dobbs had made the team.
Mm-hmm. I felt strongly about that.
I know. We all scoffed at you in the elevator. Scoff. So really, what I think is going to happen clearly does not happen. So,
you've been good on some predictions, by the way. So
keep that in mind.
All right. Well. So it is going to be Dobbs as the number 2. The Steelers certainly looked for guys who were developing, and people think that this came down to a decision, since we've talked about Dobbs here, of just one game. It wasn't a one-game knee-jerk reaction. It was an entire developmental stage from year 1 to year 2, and I think they've been very confident with what he was able to do, and he put it on display in that final game. So that's how they made their decision. So let me ask you this now, getting back to Bell.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Marquise Pouncey told Jeremy Fowler of ESPN that count on it, he'll be there Wednesday. I'm not counting on anything because I don't think he has that officially. My question is, why would he not come in today and wait till Wednesday? What's another day when, maybe he's watched all this free agent money go, guarantees to not only Gurley, but big to Rodgers, to OBJ, to the 2 defensive players in Donald and Khalil Mack. Maybe he's sitting there saying, this guarantee is more important than me losing $8.5 million, which is what he'll lose if he sits out for 9 weeks.
Anything's possible with this guy and with a lot of guys. I mean, the NFL is all about money. These guys take great personal risk, and in return they get great personal wealth if they play it right, and you only get to play it. Le'Veon Bell is going to play it to the hilt, obviously, and I don't think anybody should be surprised. I mean, I did think he would come in today, but with the way the contracts have been flying around, Aaron Rodgers getting $400,000 a day for the next 200 days, for example, and all these other deals going down too. It's not out of the realm of possibility that he's decided exactly something along the lines that you talked about, Bob.
All right, betting odds real quick. What do you say? I say he will be there Wednesday. You say?
I'll say, 1-2.
If he's not there Wednesday, I think he's in it for the long haul then.
That could be, yeah. I mean, if he's not there Wednesday, I doubt he'll play Sunday.
And then the Steelers, see, here's the thing. If he shows up even Saturday and says, okay, I'm here.
Yeah, I don't think he'll play.
It doesn't matter. Will he get paid is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I think he will.
Isn't there some sort of exemption they can make that, hey, how can we pay him? He wasn't here the entire week. I don't know how that works according to that CBA. But once he signs, he gets $14.5 million. That's why I thought it would be now. But we'll see how it goes. In the meantime, you can call us at 412-575-2600. Pirates, although they are irrelevant for the most part now, I'll tell you somebody who's very relevant, and that's Trevor Williams. And he's put up some unbelievable numbers since the All-Star break, a 0.66 ERA. He is money in the bank. If the closest thing you're going to get to a sure bet is Trevor Williams. Gene, it's amazing what he's been able to do. And that's the kind of development you want to see more. Maybe not to that degree, but you want to see players get an opportunity and run with it. And Trevor Williams has ddone that ever since he got his opportunity. Yeah,
the Pirates really needed, one or more of their really young pitchers to really develop the way Trevor Williams has. Tyon's come along okay. They needed probably somebody else, but as you said, I mean, I was perfectly willing to ignore the Pirates from here until the end, but you can't really take your eye off Trevor Williams. He's really been impressive.
Pirates win today 5-1. Adam Frazier also red hot. We'll talk more about that if you should like. Pitt, Penn State this week. Pat Narduzzi took a little shot at James of his press conference, Gene, where he said, some people may not think this is a big game, but it's a big game. It's a big game for Pittsburgh. It's a big game for the state of Pennsylvania. Franklin likes to downplay these things. Your take on what Narduzzi did? Kind of a fun little jab.
Yeah, I mean, that's what this week is for, I think, those kinds of comments. I think he's right about James Franklin. James Franklin does not seem to think this is a big game. And really, Penn State whole administration does not necessarily value the relationship with Pitt. I think after next year, you'll see it go away for a long time.
We have one text. We don't normally get these. We get a lot of tweets. We'll get tweets at KDPomp, at Gene Collier. I'll go to break on this, though. Al Leish wants to say, Steelers must be confused with Bell franchise tag following James Harrison suggesting that he sit for 9 weeks. Still be entitled to $14.4 million. My question is, can the franchise tag and thus money be withdrawn if he's not signed the offer before the 9th game? The answer is no. It's there. You can withdraw it now. You can withdraw it, but I think, Gene, you can clarify this if I'm wrong. If you get to the point where it's 9 games, you can't do it then. Do you know that for sure?
Because I don't. I
okay.
could clarify it if I knew what I was talking about. Unfortunately, I don't.
But I mean, they could rescind it right now if they want.
I think they could do it right now.
But I think if it gets closer to the time that he becomes a legit, that's his. It wouldn't be in the CBA if you could just. He's
going to play for $14.544 million.
Or prorated of that if he comes in late in the. All right, we have a lot to talk about. We'll stop talking and we'll make way for you. Follow us at 412-575-2600. Calls are next right here on Pittsburgh CW.
The Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call is brought to you by Ireland Contracting, Pittsburgh's #1 home exterior expert in roofing, siding, windows, and gutters.